Hello everyone, my name is Ariel Furman, and in this video, we're going to cover 20 easy Excel shortcuts. The more you use Excel, the more useful you'll find these tricks. We're going to be moving pretty quickly here, so let's get right into things. But before moving forward, please take a second to like and subscribe, because you're going to love these tips that save you time. First, we'll begin with some navigation shortcuts. Number 1, move across cells. Control and arrow will move in the direction of the arrow until it reaches a data cell, at which point it will select that cell. If there is no data in that row or column, it'll go on until the end of the worksheet. Let's start in cell A3. Pressing Control and right arrow will make it jump over to cell C3, the first data cell in that row. Beginning in cell A9, however, and pressing Control right arrow, it'll jump over to the last cell of that row. Number 2, select cells. Control, Shift, and arrow will select everything in the direction of the arrow until it reaches the data cell. Again, if there is no data in that row or column, it'll select everything through the end of the worksheet. Beginning in cell A3 and pressing Control, Shift, right arrow will select everything through and including the first data cell, in our case, C3. Beginning in cell A9, however, and pressing Control, Shift, right arrow will select the entire row, beginning in the first cell that we've chosen. Number 3, new worksheet. Press Fn, Shift, and F11, or page up. Number 4, fill down from the cell above. For this, we'll press Ctrl and D in the cell that we've chosen that we'd like to fill, in our case, C9. As you can see, this shortcut copies both values and formatting from the cell directly above. Number 5, insert current date. Select the cell in which you'd like to insert your current date, in our case B1, and press Ctrl and semicolon. Number 6, move to the first cell in the worksheet. This may not seem very useful if you're a few cells away from the first cell, but if you have a vast set of data, it'll come very much in handy. Press Ctrl and Home or F9. Number 7, select entire row. This will select the entire row regardless of where you are placed in the row. Press Shift and space. Number 8, select the entire column. Again, this will select the entire column regardless of where you are in that column. Press Ctrl and space. Number 9, hide rows. To hide a row, select the row and press Ctrl 9. Number 10, to hide a column, select the column you'd like to hide, or any cell within that column, and press Ctrl and 0. Number 11, find and replace. If I want to search through my worksheet or workbook and find everywhere that I made a certain error and replace it with the correct version, all I have to do is press Ctrl H. I'll type in what I'd like to find, in my case the letter G, and what I would like to replace it with, in my case the letter F. By clicking Options, you can differentiate to Excel whether you'd like to search throughout the worksheet or throughout the workbook. Replace all. Close. Number 12, insert table. To do this, we are going to press Ctrl T. First, select any cell within your data set. Press Ctrl T. It will give a recommended selection, which you can change just by highlighting it with your cursor. My table does have headers. Press OK. Tables are used pretty frequently in Excel, so being able to pull one up without using mouse is a nice shortcut to keep in mind. Number 13, open Format Cells toolbar. To do this, press Ctrl and 1. This is another great one. Here we have the ability to directly edit the formatting of values, alignments, borders, all without fumbling in the Home tab. Number 14, toggle filter. To do this, press Control, Shift, and L. We can do this regardless of whether or not we have a table, as you can see here. This is for filters. Number 15, paste special dialog box. First, we'll need to copy something, so let's copy this table. Now, if I'd like to paste this and open up the paste special dialog box, I'll press Control, Alt, and V. That brings up paste special. Number 16, access the ribbon for formulas. This is one that I personally find very useful. Just by pressing Alt, you have access to ribbon shortcuts. Number 17, start a new line in the same cell. This is particularly good for lists and alignment. Select your cell, enter edit mode, and press Alt and enter. Be sure to realize, however, that this will change the way that Excel reads the cell. It won't necessarily be read as a number anymore, but might be read as a textual character. It's something to keep in mind. Number 18, display all formulas in the worksheet. To do this, press Control, Engrave. Number 19, edit a selected cell. To do this, all you need to do is press Fn and F2. You can avoid double clicking by using this trick. Last but not least, number 20, insert a new chart in the current worksheet. Press Fn, Alt, and F1. That was a bit of a whirlwind, but nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed. As always, feel free to ask questions and don't forget to like and subscribe. Till next time.